Introduce him now to say a few words. Mr. Prime Minister, please take it away.
Thank you, Mr. President, Donald. And this is a really fantastic. With this president, this prime minister, we've managed to achieve what many people have tried to achieve for many years.
That's right.
Keir Starmer was exposed bowing to Trump over a speakerphone, excessively flattering, overly accommodating, and disgracing Britain before the world. Just hear how he says Donald as if they're lifelong pals. He forgot the entire room could hear him, and now the internet is ripping him apart. What exactly did he say that's so mortifying it's wrecking the UK's pride? In this video, let's unpack and examine it.
Introduce him now to say a few words. Mr. Prime Minister, please take it away.
Thank you, Mr. President, Donald. And
Trump spoke a single sentence, and Starmer was already melting as if his dream had just come alive. The pause between Mr. President and Donald isn't hesitation, it's a full-blown identity crisis. You can sense the inner turmoil. Do I sound too stiff? Too detached? What if I come off weak? What if I seem too eager? He settles on Donald, and in that instant, you know exactly where this call is heading. Not a prime minister standing as an equal beside an American president, but a man bending through verbal adoration, praying Trump might return a smile. This wasn't diplomacy, it was a performance.
This is a really fantastic, historic day in which we can announce this deal between our two great countries. And I think it's a real tribute to the history that we have of working so closely together. Can I pay tribute, Donald, to your negotiating team as well, particularly Howard and Jameson, who've done an incredible job, a very professional job, and my team as well. Two negotiating teams have worked at pace now for a number of weeks to bring in this deal.
Here it comes, the flood of flattery. Starmer doesn't simply thank Trump, he praises the entire negotiation team by name, as though delivering a tribute at an award ceremony. He makes sure every individual gets a mention, terrified that leaving one out might spark resentment. He remembered that sting when J.D. Vance embarrassed him, calling out the collapse of free expression in Britain.
In his remarks at the Munich Security Conference, Vice President Vance condemned free speech violations in the UK, particularly. Could you respond? What is your message?
I have an idea. We have the man right here. Come on. Let's go, JD. We're putting you on stage.
Great. Look, I said what I said, which is that we do have, of course, a special relationship with our friends in the UK and also with some of our European allies. But we also know that there have been infringements on free speech that actually affect not just the British. Of course, what the British do in their own country is up to them, but also affect American technology companies and by extension, American citizens. So that is something that we'll talk.
Returning to Starmer's remarks during the call, he made sure to name Howard and Jameson, the ones who handled the negotiation. Yet he seems to have overlooked that this agreement is already under fire in Britain for giving away plenty while gaining little. Still, Starmer piles on the compliments, claiming they did an exceptional and highly professional job. This is the kind of flattery you'd expect from a junior official eager for advancement, not a national leader who once portrayed himself as a firm, pragmatic centrist. This wasn't respect, it was validation chasing. And it didn't end there.
Of strength.
I noticed this week you wrote that if each nation within Europe genuflects at the foot of the emperor, Trump will have the advantage. Do you think that our body language, if I can put it that way, our government body language towards the White House could be described as appeasement?
Yes, I think it is. I think, negotiations, you got something. I don't want to say you walked away empty, but the analyses I've seen, and let me make clear, I haven't done those analyses.
Empty catchphrases, hollow vows, no figures, no depth. Starmer begins tossing out lines like expanding market access and protecting jobs with the enthusiasm of an automated press release. There's no genuine conviction here. Only shallow optimism pinned to a deal his own team knows is one-sided. Before we move forward, let us know, are you enjoying the video? If so, please like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth coverage of the seismic shifts shaping British politics. Alright, let's carry on.
How important is the deal that we signed with the United States this week?
Well, any agreement with Trump isn't worth the paper it's written on. The U.S. signed an agreement with Canada and Mexico during Trump's first administration. One of the first things he did when he became president was to rip it up and impose 25% tariffs against Canada and Mexico. So I wouldn't view it as a great achievement. In fact, I would view it as playing into Trump's strategy. His strategy is divide and conquer, go after the weakest countries, and sort of put the stronger countries in the back. So who are the strong countries? Well, obviously, China has not reacted in a conciliatory appeasement way.
Still, Starmer couldn't care less. During his praise, he wasn't even addressing Trump anymore, he was performing for the cameras, betting that if he repeatedly created jobs often enough, the public might overlook how U.S. beef imports will swamp the market while British steel producers remain trapped under American tariffs. But sure, let's label this a victory.
Perhaps precludes making a deal with the EU. Would you say we have made the wrong bet here?
Yes, I think so. Partly because a deal with Trump isn't, as I said before, worth the paper it's written on. And if it's a one-sided thing. If it turns out, at the end, when you work it all out, Trump is unhappy, he'll renege. If you're unhappy, I pray for you.
Yet Starmer wasn't ready to stop. He pressed on with the lines he'd likely practiced in front of the mirror the night before.
You may or may not know that it was about this time of day, exactly 80 years ago, that Winston Churchill announced victory in Europe, and that led to great celebrations across Europe, across America, but particularly in the United Kingdom. Literally people going out into the street, putting bunting up, going up to the palace.
Now we enter full history lecture mode. Starmer dives into a strangely scripted speech about VE Day, Churchill, and the exact hour of victory in Europe as if trying to charm Trump through shared nostalgia. What makes it worse? Trump couldn't care less. It's pure performance, an attempt to link himself with historic greatness, drawing a forced Churchillian comparison between signing a US-driven trade deal and defeating Nazi Germany. It's ridiculous. It's cringeworthy. And worse, it drips with insecurity. A truly assured leader doesn't have to reach 8 decades into the past to make the present feel meaningful.
So to be able to announce this great deal on the same day, 80 years forward, almost at the same hour, and as we were 80 years ago, with the UK and the US standing side by side, I think is incredibly important and makes this truly historic. That close relationship has endured over those 80 years. As you know, Donald, when it comes to defence and security and intelligence sharing, of course, there are no two countries that are closer than our two countries. And now we take this into new and important territory by adding trade and the economy to the closeness of our relationship.
Yes, Keir, we understand. But today, the UK isn't standing tall, it's trailing behind, eager to secure any trade agreement in the post-Brexit scramble. And here, Starmer is packaging that desperation as confidence. You can't claim equality while behaving like an admirer. This was Britain's opportunity to prove it could negotiate with authority and precision. Instead, Starmer came across like a teenager on a celebrity video call, recycling worn-out lines and hoping Trump would flash him a thumbs up.
It is built, as you say, on those notions of fairness and reciprocal arrangements. We've always had a fair and balanced arrangement between our countries. This builds on that, hugely important for sectors like car manufacturing and for steel and aluminium and so many others. And yes, we can finish ironing out some of the details, but there's a fantastic platform here, including, of course, on the tech side. Where I think I'm right in saying we're the only two Western countries with trillion-dollar sectors when it comes to tech.
Here's where it turns bleak, because everyone knows the deal isn't balanced. Under this arrangement, British supermarkets have rejected imported US beef, and a 10% tariff still hangs over many UK exports to America. This isn't fairness. It's leftovers. Yet Starmer digs in, promoting it as a triumph of negotiation while the public watches. He's not confronting Trump, he's endorsing a deal that undermines Britain's stance and labeling it historic. That's not diplomacy. It's a delusion.
And in the end, it comes down to, as you say, Donald, economic security is national security. On national security, we've been absolutely the closest of allies for so many years, keeping the peace through that close alliance, that friendship. And now we add to that this deal on trade and the...
Now we've reached peak cringe. Quoting Trump to Trump is the ultimate submissive move. It's not just that Starmer agrees, he echoes Trump's own lines back at him like a nervous student trying to impress the teacher. Even worse, he's tying his government's core principles, like national security, to a Trump catchphrase. The very same Trump his party once branded a threat to Western democracy. So which is it, Keir? Is Trump the danger, or your personal Churchill? The numbers don't lie.
And I want to thank you for your leadership on that, Donald, and for the way in which your team have negotiated this. And I'm so pleased that we've got this deal, we've finalised it, and we've built an incredible platform for the...
At this stage, Starmer completely folds. The phrase "thank you for your leadership" isn't diplomacy, it's surrender. He's not expressing gratitude to the presidency. He's not acknowledging a strategic partner. He's thanking Donald Trump personally for pushing through a trade deal that brings Britain little in return. And worse, he does it publicly, on speakerphone, with reporters listening and cameras rolling. This wasn't just awkward. It was national self-degradation. Thank you so much, Donald.
Future. So thank you so much, Donald. I'm now going to go and do a press conference. I think you have your press in with you, but on the details, I think if you've got Howard, etc., we can deal with that through one of my...
Yes, he says it again, like signing off a love note. No resistance, no clear boundaries, no defense of Britain's interests. Just admiration, flattery, and more flattery toward the very man Starmer's party condemned for years. This was meant to be a strong, capable prime minister representing Britain on the global stage. Instead, we saw a starry-eyed follower showering Trump with compliments, forgetting the whole nation was listening. This wasn't merely a phone call. It was Keir Starmer's mask slipping in real time. The man who promised integrity, competence, and resolve crumbled the instant Trump answered. He didn't negotiate. He appeased me. He didn't stand firm. He undermined himself. He didn't speak for Britain. He embodied weakness, inconsistency, and hollow PR theater. And the worst part? He forgot the speakerphone was live. What do you think? Did Keir Starmer really need to stoop this low to please Trump? Isn't it clear that Trump respects strength, not someone who creates cringeworthy moments trying to win approval? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Can Starmer survive Trump with this approach, or will he be exploited for being too compliant? If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like, share, and subscribe for more updates on British politics and the shifts shaping its future. Until next time, stay tuned.